What's up, guys? I'm Alex.
I'm Jason. We're the Table Monkeys, and we are here with a quick video to discuss Devon's absolute domination of Denis, where he just completely demolished him. And I recently saw Devon at the Ottawa Open, which was an absolutely epic tournament. Shout out to Eric Rosin once again, because it was like, if you can go to one tournament a year in Ontario or almost in Canada, you should probably go to the Ottawa Open. I mean, not taking anything away from nationals, but
yeah, I'm very disappointed.
It was epic. We literally, the doors got closed, like no more people allowed in the building at like 2:30. Like he had to stop the novice registrations for the next day because he couldn't let people come in to fucking register. Like, it was nutty. It was a fucking busy place.
It must be the biggest tournament we've had in...
Yeah, he said so. Record-breaking 706 entries, which is the most entries ever other than Worlds. That was like when they held Worlds here back in the 90s or whatever it was.
Wow.
Yeah, or maybe early 2000s.
That's very impressive, though, that we had a Worlds back then that were 700 people.
Yeah, but it's a Worlds.
I understand it's a Worlds, but in the 90s.
Yeah. Anyway, fucking crazy tournament. Eric, you rock. It rocks. It was awesome. But at that tournament, Devon was there because both his kids, Auden and
Milo.
Right? No, Avery didn't end up competing. But anyway, Auden, Milo both competed. Both did really well. Auden was pulling in the open class and definitely had some serious challenges, but he got a wicked stop against an absolute monster in Nicolo Gazzetta, which was, and then there was a questionable elbow foul that was called.
He had a great fight with Josh Rodriguez as well.
Yeah.
That was impressive.
Yeah, the kid, and I haven't seen Auden in a little while. The kid has grown so much. Like, he is so much taller. He's basically the same size as Alex, just not as thick yet. But he's tall as fuck now. It's crazy. And anyway, that's what we're here to talk about. What we're here to talk about is what Devon said about his match with Denis, where he, as I said, completely dismantled this man. Yes. So you may have heard Devon talk about how, like, his plan for round one. So I just wanted to discuss that a bit because it totally, when I saw it happen and when I heard him talk about it and when I talked to him after about it, it just so reminded me of what my old MMA coach used to say. He was a Muay Thai kickboxer mostly, and he used to talk about, like, round one, you come out, you beat up their legs, and you find your distance, and then round two, you come in, you like beat up their gut and take their wind away, and then round three, their head is there for the taking. And that's exactly how Devon just went through Denis's fundamentals, like taking his cup away and then working on his wrist and then finally just finishing him out. It was just so beautiful watching that, you know? And there was, I think you said somebody commented that it was kind of like what he did to me, to my King's move on my left, just that constant, like, going through the range of motion. When he did it to me, he was actually working on my bicep. Denis's bicep is so strong, it was more his wrist that Devon was trying to milk. And if you've ever, well, if you're an arm wrestler, you know that as soon as you are trying to hold a fundamental or a force at full strength and it gets taken from you, like your wrist, you're trying to hold it in and somebody just peels it open, that muscle now is destroyed.
Yeah.
And basically,
one time. Yeah. But if you do it over and over and over, it's fucked.
Yeah, and you can even, if watch it again and watch Denis, every time Devon comes back, you can see Denis kind of like try to hang on to it, like, oh shit, I got it back, let me see if I can hang on to my wrist, and then just boom. And by the last few reps through the range, you can just see that there's nothing there, and then Devon comes up, gets his shoulder over it, and just starts using his shoulder to push his pronator out. Just beautiful, beautiful fundamental arm wrestling. And then once he's got him, you know, like we say, I was saying this to somebody in practice the other day, think of the thumb as like the volume button, like for the other person's strength, right? And you just turn that volume down. And that's basically what he did. He just like boom, 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 and then all of a sudden his power's gone, and roll it out. Just absolutely epic. But one of the cool insights I got was round two.
Second round, because rounds 1 and 3 are basically the same, but round 2, it looks like Denis doesn't even initiate.
Devon falls up, shoulder tight on the way, he goes straight to the pad! It's ignition!
Yeah, or like Devon is just on a completely another level.
Yeah, but then, but it's clear that the strength is still there for Denis, because round 3, it looks like round 1 for the most part.
Exactly. Devon still has to work through, you know, he gets the cup and everything maybe easier, but he still has to work through all those motions again to actually get his arm down the same. So what Devon told me about round 2, just some insider insight, is that Denis wanted to press. He could feel Denis was coming forward and wanting to press. So Devon was like, fucking right, all right, like I know exactly what to do. Let's do this, fucking get at it. And whether Denis was just a little hesitant or didn't have the setup that he needed, whatever it was, there just wasn't basically anything there on the go, and Devon just blasted right through it. But it was, like we always say about kind of the rock, paper, scissor nature of arm wrestling, it was definitely one of those situations where the move Denis was going for just put him right into the lane that Devon was going for, so that's why it looks the way it does.
Or maybe Devon was completely fine doing the same thing 3 times in a row, but he knew Denis chose paper this time.
Exactly.
And Devon obviously has the ability to pick any move he wants. So
scissors it was.
Exactly.
Yeah. And just slice right through that bitch.
Yeah.
But I just love one of the things that we both love about this sport is the martial arts aspect of it, and that match to me is just such a great example of it. You know, like the only other one, well, there's lots of other matches, but it reminded me of like Unkabayev going through Iraqi, just like this move to that move to set up this thing. You know, it was a little bit different. Like Unkabayev's dismantlement of Iraqi was more like picking your opponent apart with like accurate punches, where Devon was just like, okay, I'm going to take this away from you, and now once you don't have that, now I'm going to take that away from you. Now you have no arms. Now I'm going to just chop your head off.
Yeah,
and it was beautiful. It was epic. So
Denis is still strong.
Yeah, where does Denis lie?
Well, he's not nearly as technical as he used to be.
Yeah.
But he's still very strong, and I think he could be a threat to many of the top 10.
I think what makes him, like Devon made the point that his arm is still ridiculous, and Devon, as strong as he is, which he is on another fucking level now, he is multiple beings at this point, I think. He still really had to work through his arm, and he didn't actually like pin his arm. He got him through his hand basically both times. Even the one where Denis comes forward, he totally takes his thumb away.
Yeah, and even when he's in the press, he rolls to finish, right?
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I mean by and in round 1 and 3, right? Yeah. That's how he has to finish him. So I think that Denis's arm, I think he still has a good hand. I don't think it's Georgie, Devon, or even Hermes, or definitely not Levon level, but it's definitely still good enough to fuck with most people because it's attached to such a ridiculously strong arm. And I think there's, as much as people like, oh, I know how to arm wrestle now, it's like I can just train and get strong and then I'll be a good arm wrestler. There's so much that goes into being at the table that's going through your head that you have to think about, that there's always going to be some ring rust involved. You know, like at the Ottawa Open this weekend, John Milne been training, he looked strong as fuck, he was definitely ready, he was mentally there. But a couple of the 2 matches that he lost, I feel like he lost in the setup because there was just a little bit of that ring rust of really being in it and knowing what was going on. Like, I feel like one, he kind of missed the goal, and the other one, he was kind of waiting for the refs to help him out a little bit.
Right. But Denis has had, except Devon, he's had 1 match in 5 years.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So his, I think that like him not getting to the press on round 2 or 3 more matches, and maybe he gets to that press on round 2 and pulls what Gennady did, you know, where he catches Devon off guard. Yeah. So the thing is that a tiny gap like this in technically in arm wrestling can look like a gap like this in strength. And I don't think that's the case for Denis. I think that is the case for Denis, is that he's got some, like you said, technical things that aren't as sharp as they used to be, which could be tightened up just with maybe more competing, right? So
yeah,
it's kind of the same thing like with Alexia and John. Like Alexia Vovoda is still super strong, but just the positions and some of the things he got caught trying to do in the match maybe were just a bit of that ring rust, where he was expecting something to go a certain way because of the way he trained, and then he got into the match and it didn't, and because his mind isn't caught up to his body yet.
Yeah, and John's obviously a technical beast and he's never stopped. Yeah, right? He was obviously able to manipulate
that situation in his favor. Right? Yeah. So anyway, that's our long-winded analysis of the Devon and Denis match and just the martial arts of arm wrestling in general. Hope you liked it. Please like, comment, subscribe, all those things.
And monkeys out.
Peace.